Hello, so this is the second video in how to add skills scheme candidates, and we're going to be looking today at bulk uploads. So this applies for when you have a larger number of candidates. So maybe you've got more than 10 and you just want to be able to put them all up at the same time. So for this, we're going to look first of all at how to create multiple candidate accounts all in one go. We're going to look at how to add the registrations and how to add the candidates to the courses as a bulk. So to do this, again, we're going to go to CMS and we're going to use the Mountain Training's test account. So here we have Cowboy Adventures. And to add candidates to your provide account, we're going to use the Candidates tab. So under this tab, you'll have a list of all of the candidates that are already linked to your account. So we can see there are a number here. If you scroll down to the bottom, you have the Add Candidate button, which you can use for individual candidates, but you also have the Import Candidates. So if you click on this, so then you come to the Candidate Import page. So this is basically a page where you can upload a document. So it needs to be a CSV file and it needs to be in a particular format. So there is a template which can be found down here. So if you press download, it will download a zipped folder, which includes two files. The first is the template itself, and the second is a PDF. So this is a PDF. So this is basically step-by-step instructions as well as the codes that you're going to need to fill the spreadsheet. So this is a template spreadsheet. So this is the one that you're going to be using to upload. So first of all, you'll need to enable editing. So as you can see, the first 4 rows of candidate information have been added as an example. So you can see the information that's needed here. When it comes to you adding your own candidates, you will need to delete these first 4 rows. So the information that you need to provide to be able to add a registration successfully is going to be either the forename, surname, gender and date of birth of the candidate, or if they've already created an account, you'll just need their candidate ID. You can see obviously that there are additional fields here. If you have this information, the information has come from the candidate or from the candidate's parent or legal guardian, you can add this information into this point. You then have the drop-down menu for the award, which is going to either be Hill and Mountain Skills or Rock Skills. So each of these has been given a code. So Hill and Mountain Skills is number 10, Rock Skills is number 557. You have a number for the board. So as you can see here, you've got Mountain Training England is 0, Mountain Training Scotland is number 1, etc. And as well, you have a drop-down menu for ethnicity. So only complete this column if you have gathered the data from the participant themselves or from their parent or legal guardian. Please don't try to guess, and there is obviously a column there if they prefer not to share that information. So if we now delete the 4 examples. So having deleted the first 4 boxes, we're now going to populate this with the data that we've collected from our candidates. We know that this person is female, and we don't have any of the contact information for the candidates, so we're going to leave these blank. We do have their date of birth. And we then go on to the boxes referencing the course itself. So the award that we're interested in is going to be either Hill and Mountain Skills or Rock Skills, and each of those has a number. So for example, this candidate is going to be booked onto the Hill and Mountain Skills, which was number 10. We then are going to link them to the relevant board. So this is the board that you are linked to. So in this case, I'm going to say Cowboy Adventures. Therefore, it's going to be Mountain Training England. So that's board number 0. We then have the registration date. So that's today's date. So then the next box is the ethnicity data. So this is data that as Mountain Training, we would be very interested in you collecting because it does help us to be able to track the demographic of our candidates. So for this example, we're going to say that we have a candidate who is Chinese Asian. So that would be number 5. So we would pick number 5 in the drop-down list. So there we go, there's our first candidates. And you can carry on adding candidates in this way. So just to remind you, the key information that you do need to have to create an account and to be able to register a candidate is their forename, surname, gender, and date of birth. If you have any of the additional information that's been supplied directly from the candidates or their parent or legal guardian, then you can add that information here. If, however, the candidate has already created their own account, you can add the candidate ID. So we'll do that here. And you don't need to add this additional information because they will have already done that themselves. So all that you'd need to do is add the candidate ID, the award that you're registering them onto, the board that they're being registered with, today's date, and that's it. So for this candidate, we're going to say that we're going to register them onto the same scheme, so Hill and Mountain Skills, with the same board, Mountain Training England, and obviously it is still the same date. And we'd carry on adding our candidates in one of those two ways until you've got all of the candidates that you need onto the spreadsheets. You can then delete the first row and you're left with just your list. Once you're happy with this list, we're going to then save it, and we're going to save it as a CSV. So don't just press save. I'm going to save it as a CSV. So that means we do need to go save as. And we're going to change the title to one that makes sense for you. So it may be, so Hill Skills, name of the school that you're working with, and the date of the course, which is the 1st of June 2021. So we would save this in a relevant folder, and we're going to save this as a CSV. So this is what we need to be able to upload it correctly. Save. So we now have the relevant information. It's in the correct format, which is a CSV, and it's ready to be uploaded onto the website. So if we return to our provider page and to our candidate import page, we can now upload the relevant documents. So I'm going to press browse. You then find the document that you're after. So make sure it is the CSV version, so it'll say comma separated values file, and open that. Once you've got the files that you want into this section here, you then press upload. Okay, and you'll have a comment that says your data has been uploaded successfully. If you then return to your candidates list, you should find the additional candidates are here. So the next step is then going to be to add them onto the courses. To do this, you're going to go to the courses tab, and then you're going to choose the course that you're interested in. I would recommend doing this in another tab just so that you've got the ease of moving backwards and forwards within the provider account should you need it. So this is our course. So the tab that you're wanting here now is bookings. And we can either add bookings individually as we have before, or we can upload bulk bookings. So if you have got a lot of candidates, there is the import button. So if you click on imports, it will open up the little window here. Now, the template that you're going to use for this is different to the candidate template. So you can't just upload the one that you created when you created the candidates. It is a separate file. So if you download the templates, you'll be able to see that there are a few different columns, and there are less columns to actually fill in. So the columns that we're going to be interested in are forename, surname, and date of birth. Just open that. There is no need to add this information. If you have it, you can, but it's not necessary. However, at the moment, there is also the extra tab that says already paid. Now, we are hoping to get this removed, but at present you do need to add this information. So for all candidates that have been registered after the 17th of May, 2021, the answer to this one is always going to be false. If they were registered before that, it would be true. However, this should soon be taken off the spreadsheet, so you won't have to worry about it at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this candidate, and I'm going to add in the details for the candidates that I want to add to this course. Now, to do this, you can either take it from a spreadsheet you've previously created, so you can just copy and paste the forename, surname, and date of birth across, or what you can do is enter it manually. Please do be careful that the date of birth that you add is correct. And if you're not sure of that, you can actually see the date of birth of your candidate on your candidates tab. So if I just show you quickly, if we go to our provider accounts and our candidates tab, you have the full name, surname, and date of birth. So this is all the information that you need to create the course. So the candidate I'm interested in on this occasion is test. So I'm going to add their date of birth to their account here. And then I'm going to add in false to the already paid. So it does need to be in capitals and it's either true or false depending. But as I said before, hopefully this tab will soon be gone. Now I would also like to add a couple of my other candidates. So I'm just going to use my candidates tab and I'm just going to go backwards and forwards. So I'm going to take 6th example. And their date of birth is the 1st of the 1st, 2010. Please always do make sure you've got the correct date of birth for the candidate. If you don't know their date of birth, please do check with the candidate, their parent or guardian. So again, I'm going to fill in this final column. So once you're happy, you've got the forename, surname, and date of birth of all of the candidates that are due to come onto your course. You would then save this file with a title that makes sense for you. Once that's saved, you've then got a CSV ready to upload onto your provider accounts. So we're going to return to the provider accounts and to the import page for the course that we're creating. We're going to press Browse, find our file, and then once it's here, we can import. And so you can see the candidates have now been added. So hopefully this video has helped. We've been able to go through and we've been able to do a bulk creation of candidates and to register them at the same time. And we've also now been able to add candidates bulk to a course. You can still add additional bookings should you need to. You can either use the add bookings or you can yet again import a second list. So I hope this has been useful. Thank you very much.